Hi, everybody. How are you today on this rainy, in California, we're saying rainy Monday? Terri Hardin here, Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer, international sculptor, artist, trademarked artist, and speaker. Also worked for Jim Henson. I'm a bit of Jim Henson Muppeteer for quite some time. And blah and blah and blah. Worked on Ghostbusters, Men in Black, Dune. Dune opened on Friday, the new Dune, and a lot of people are talking about the Dune from 1984. That's when I did. I think it was 1984. Anyway, the David Lynch Dune, you may remember. So people are starting to talk about that, compare about that. I won't discuss that today. I wanted to talk to you about outrageous pumpkins. I'm a judge on outrageous pumpkins. Did you see the finale? Did you like the finale? Were you like, woohoo, interested, thrilled, excited? Don't know what I'm talking about? If you're new to this channel, welcome. Feel free to post in the comments anything you have to say. This is Monday, so it's not going to be an Ask Me Anything, but I always have Ask Me Anything Fridays, and you can ask me anything at that point. But today I'll discuss a little bit about pumpkins. It's going to be a lot of pumpkins. And you may have seen some pumpkins at Disney. You may have seen some pumpkins at Descanso Gardens, Knott's Berry Farm. Pumpkin artists from all over the world. This is their favorite time of year, obviously, because they get to create with something, the amazing, the stupendous pumpkin. Many people have said because of who I am, I know a lot about pumpkins. But I have to say that David McGrath of McGrath Street Pumpkins, he retired a couple years ago, but it was he who walked me through his patch and explained to me the various varieties of pumpkins. You may have noticed that the giant ones that they carved in the finale are really something, aren't they? They get over 1,000 pounds, and you saw that they were about 1,000 pounds. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can still see the finale on Discovery Plus, and keep an eye with your Food Network scheduling, because I think all the way up to Halloween, they will probably re-show these season 1 and season 2 of Outrageous Pumpkins. And last night, they did one that was super, super early that I did with the Man Meets Food guy. He's such a sweetheart. Anyway, it's a different set of judges, and you get to see how they do it. It was they built up in the beginning, way back. Like I said, I've been a judge since 2005. So they've played with the show, they've altered the show, they've shifted the show, and thankfully they've thought that I have contributed a lot as a judge. And this is because I continue to study and continue to work with a better understanding of pumpkins and what I want to do with them, because the other judges are very, 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 very good and do the same. So why should bring it as they bring it? And we each bring our own herbs and spices to pepper the show with. So it's always a blessing. I'm really about story. And being an Imagineer, I'm about innovation, story, collaboration, if the need be. Just think out of the box, really, right? So that's why, as an Imagineer, I think that's one of the reasons. But anyway, it's really super great and cool. So yeah, so did you enjoy it? Feel free to post in the comments what you did. And while we do that, I got a couple of things. First of all, a news flash. So I did mention to you, I know I have a million times, about Patreon. Pardon me, I'm having my breakfast. And I'm going to just show you how to be a part of this, should you want to. Patreon.com/Terri Hardin. You go there. It has several tiers you can join. It is a membership site, full disclosure. But you can join for $5 a month, $60 a year. We have a Zoom call every Wednesday when possible. We are resuming Zoom this Wednesday. I also broadcast with them before I come on with you, and we talk different stuff. So if you're interested in that, please check it out. And I think you'll really, really enjoy it. Also, the class, the pumpkin sculpting class. I'm offering a pumpkin sculpting class in Anaheim. That's correct. In Anaheim, 5 miles away from Disneyland. I will be offering a class, and we have a few spaces left. So you go to terrihardin.com, click on event schedule, and you can sign up for the class, okay? I provide the pumpkins. I will share my tools with you. You will have to share your tools with each other. I will also have tools and DVDs and things for sale. So you'll be able to check all of that out while you're there, including my book, Giggling Pumpkins. But the main reason we're there is to sculpt pumpkins, and I will be there from 9 o'clock in the morning until God turns the lights out. It's a really killer deal. So go over and check that out if you think you'd like to learn. This is the best way to learn how to do pumpkins. We're not going to do the wild and crazy stuff you saw in Outrageous Pumpkins. We're going to start with the simple, not jack-o'-lantern. We're not going to cut. No knives. We're going to sculpt, and we'll do a face or whatever you want, actually. Okay, but we're going to sculpt like these people on Outrageous Pumpkins. Who knows? It might be the powder keg you need to light your gunpowder to possibly go compete yourself. You never know. You might want to be a contestant later on Outrageous Pumpkins. It's very, very possible. It all starts with the sweet little pumpkin, and that's what we're going to do. In honor of that, today, I'm going to show you a few things that I think you will enjoy, okay? Over the weekend, I had a very busy weekend. First, I had a virtual class, okay? Virtual classes are very hard because I can't pick the pumpkin for you and I can't loan you my tools. And this becomes challenging for me. So those of you in the virtual class are such good sports when you do it. Now, during the pandemic, that's all we had, correct? And that's how I started. But I'm getting better with the virtual classes. It's just that the live class is really, it's extra special. I'm only going to say, once you've done the virtual class, you're going to love coming and doing the live class or jump right into the live class. But I had to do a pumpkin for that class. Oops. I put you here, but I don't want to show you first. The challenge is finding a spot where I need to put stuff. So just give me a minute. I just figured out, I figured out what I wanted to do. Okay. Okay, so here he is. So during the virtual class, what I do is, there we go. Okay. There we go. During the virtual class, what I do is I have to demonstrate on a pumpkin things that you want to do. So let's say you want to do Jack Skellington because you're a beginner and you feel better. You feel better just trying something basic like that. Or you may want to do teeth, or you may want to do a face, or whatever you want to do. Virtually, I'm going to help you do it just like I do in the class. But I don't get to necessarily sculpt a pumpkin. So you'll notice this is in a plastic bag. This pumpkin was sculpted on Friday, and it's Monday today. So here's a plastic bag for this pumpkin. Many people say, how do you preserve a pumpkin, Terry? And this is how we do it. We have a plastic bag, first of all. A bag the size of your pumpkin. Now, if you're doing one of my giant pumpkins, which I often do, you need a big garbage bag, don't you? Now, you notice here, there's this film. This is a damp paper towel. And if we remove it, there's our face. Okay, there he is. And you're kind of saying to yourself, what? Okay, I'm trying to give you a little bit of, want to do the light in such a way. There we go. That's a good shot of him. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this face. One of the students wanted to do Jack Skellington, so this eye was the Jack Skellington demo eye. Okay, and then she decided she liked doing more of an angry eye. So, and my other students wanted angry demo. So there's an eye where the this part is kind of roundy. Then we drew this in, and then the pupil is a little lower. They wanted skull nose. I showed them how you go all the way to the cavity with this nose so you can know the thickness of the pumpkin without having to, you know, tilt it or whatever. And then people who like to do teeth. So I showed them how to do teeth and the little smirk. He has kind of a flattish profile because he doesn't have a very big wall. When they got the big walls, you can do what they did in Outrageous Pumpkins. And if we do that, you see that light really helps bring out his features. Now, some of you may be saying, how do you light it? Because I always light my pumpkins without opening the bottom, okay? But I have a very magical way of doing this. Many of you may know that. I open the bottom. Why is it such a great idea to open the bottom? Well, to open the bottom means that the light sits flat on wherever your surface is. And, you know, so I've got a light that I'm going to put inside, and it's a little bit bigger than this pumpkin kind of can handle. So he's going to sit a little bit on top of it. I'm trying to see, because we're going to light it today. It happens to be dark enough in here. Oh, I think it'll work. So let me just do a little alteration to the hole underneath, and you can kind of watch me do that. I just take a knife. This is the only time when I'm teaching that you use a knife to open it. And then what I do is I guess I didn't have my other tool here, but I use ceramic sculpting tools to carve the face like they do on Outrageous Pumpkins, if you've seen that. So I'm just going to alter this a little bit because I have a light that needs to get in here. And I want to light him up today so you can see him. And then you're going to probably be asking me right now, if you did him on Friday and you live in California. Now, luckily, we've had cool weather. But I have discovered, thanks to a lot of my friends on Outrageous Pumpkins, that you can use vinegar or bleach to preserve them. Now, many of us don't, you know, we want to put them in our garden later. So if we want to put them in our garden later, we certainly don't want to use bleach. So I use vinegar. I take vinegar. I use distilled white vinegar. And I take a paper towel and I wipe the full inside. And then I take vinegar-soaked towel, wipe the face, all over the face. And then I put you saw the damp paper towel, that goes over, and then in the plastic bag. And we do that every day. Don't skip a day, because then it incubates the bacteria and it makes the mold come on, and the mold looks really cool. But you can do that after Halloween, right? So that's what you do. Let me just toss this away while I'm thinking of it. Okay, you can look at him while I throw away the extra stuff I just did. This needs to get thrown out anyway, so why don't I just do it in there? Okay. So we're going to light him up right here for you to see. Are you excited about that? Let me just set that up, and we will do that. In fact, I think this is a good camera for you to sit to kind of look at my back while I'm doing this. I'm going to pop this light inside. Hopefully it's going to be one that works. I haven't tested it yet. Now, this particular light, it may not be the one I choose, but I chose it for today. Okay, I'm going to have to get a little clever here. I would have done all of this for you. I would have done all of this for you guys ahead of time. And, I just thought of what I'm going to do. Okay. You would get a light that actually fits, but we're going to try and level him out here so that we can see what he looks like lit up. I haven't done this yet. Gosh, I need to have another side support. This seems to work. That works. Okay. Now I just have to plug him in. And let's see what he looks like lit up. I haven't, like I said, I haven't done that yet. Oh, the light's working. Good. Well, that's a plus. All right. Now what we need to do, turn this light off. Okay. I'm going to get him set up for the camera so you guys can see him. Then we're going to turn a few lights off. I'm going to be in the dark, but we're going to, make him. You see him back here? We're going to make it so that you guys can see him better. But I want to create the nighttime effect. Thanks to the rain, we have a very dark studio today. Oh, yeah, here we go. All right, so here it is, camera 4. There he is, and let me just focus him. There we go. Okay. Woo! Well, that's pretty doggone creepy, isn't it? Yes, it is. So, let's see what happens if I give myself a little bit of light on my subject. Now, if we do this, you see how that changes his light? So that's why I wanted him to be nice and dark, so you guys could see him nice and dark. I'm down here in the dark. There's my face. Hi! Ghostly lighting for a ghostly thing. But I just wanted to show you that this is what you can do. He still looks a touch out of focus, doesn't he? And that's because there's so much orange. I think my camera is like, what do I focus on? Please tell me. There we go. That's probably a little bit better. But there it is. You can see that the split in the teeth here lights up. The nose goes all the way through the cavity. So that's why it's hot. And then these are softer. Then up here is the area where it's darker. You could actually back carve some of these areas. Like here, this is kind of thick. But you see how it's coming through the gums, which is pretty cool. And the lip and the chin. So this is what's kind of fun about making pumpkins like these. This is the very first time he's been lit up. So now back to my own mood lighting. I just realized my blue wasn't on. So what the hey, my mermaid tail was getting jealous. You can still see that, and maybe if we focus again, now that we have that light, there you can see a little better, but that's him. So he has been carved. Was carved Friday for my virtual class. And the reason he looks like a bit of a mishmash, one moment. Okay. Sorry, the light just goes on by plugging and unplugging that particular light. I grabbed the first light. But the interesting thing about him is that he was indeed that's good. He was carved between 1 and 3 to help my virtual class. And you can see that he is still, hear that? He's still nice and hard. He's not mushy and gushy. We could probably still carve on him if I wanted to carve out this cheek to make that light up. We just back carve it. We'd go in the inside and do that, But anyway, I hope you enjoyed taking a look at this one. And now I did one on Saturday for a demo I did at the Irvine Park Railroad. And if you haven't been out there, that's a really cool place to be out there for. And I'm going to show you that. I have not looked that one up either. Shall we take a look at that one? Okay, goody, goody. Okay, so what I will do now, again, just so you know, is we will take vinegar, wipe this down, right? And then we will take the paper towel. I'll just kind of, let me just kind of go back to camera 3. Paper towel, the damp paper towel. It's like a little facial. You just put it over the pumpkin like this. Okay. And I like to center it over the pumpkin. So his face, you know, you can use various paper towels. You'll see when I do it on the other one. And you just kind of pat. I will dampen this again. You pat it down. If you have a big pumpkin, you're going to need a lot of paper towels. Now, you could also use a damp towel, but the towels have fiber. So be careful that you don't have a lot of pink fiber, a little blue fiber over it, whatever, right? And then you just put it in a plastic bag like this. And what I like to do basically is I hold this guy and then I put it over the top. Okay, the reason I do that is because then I can stuff it up into the hole like this. Like that. Then I kind of know where the hole is, you know, and then I just sit and and then the next day. So the idea is to keep this till Halloween. Not sure it's going to happen. I've never done this before with distilled white vinegar, but we'll see. And then you'll know how to preserve your pumpkin, won't you? You may want to try it with me if you've carved one early, but this is a great way. I have a pumpkin I've got to do for someone, and I want to try and find a day when I can do it so it's not in my Halloween group, so she can kind of have it displayed, and I'll show her how to do this. And for the next few days, she can do it because I know already that I can do this for a few days. You see, I can do this. I know because I sculpted this on Friday and it's Monday and he looks really nice and fresh. So I know Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Bear with me. Monday, that if I can sculpt her commission pumpkin on Wednesday, Thursday, she will have it just nice and yummy for Sunday. So that's what I'm working on, and hopefully you may want to try it. If you try it and see how you like it. I use full strength vinegar. So I just, put it in a little bowl and saturate a paper towel with it, wipe the inside of the pumpkin and the outside. And then I store it like this. So there a little air can kind of get in there because I just don't want that bacteria to incubate. And these little guys make nice little incubators for the bacteria. So also store it in a cool place. If you have a nice cool place, I put them, my husband really loves me for it. They're on the counter in the kitchen. So he's kind of like, really? But only till Halloween. So that's how it works. Let's take a look at the second one, shall we? Okay. Hi. Okay. Okay. So again, here we have it all wrapped up. I'm going to cut the camera 3 here and show you how we do it. Now, this pumpkin was done at a demo, and I did it because I've been reading in the paper a lot about Asian hate happening. And those of you who know me, I don't like people to be hated for any reason, let alone something that they can't change. And you'll notice just by my look that I am a mixed race child, and I was bullied for being white and looking black. Like I could change that. You can't, right? You can't. So I decided to do this character for a lot of my friends in Asia. I love animals, and I love the story of the gibbon. So the magical gibbon that people in India, in Asia, in foreign countries all protect and love because it's a magical beast in their opinion, and mine too. So I wanted to do that. Now here you'll notice that that he has got a lot of covering. Well, let me not do that because he's a white. First of all, this is a ghost pumpkin. See, it's all white. There's a ding here, but it doesn't seem to be damaging anything. This one I picked up at their patch, and we just simply peel away all of the paper towels, and there he is. There he is, my little gibbon. Now, what I did with this particular character, ooh, a pumpkin seed. Did you poop a pumpkin seed? There you go. Okay. So again, we've got this just overlaying everything because I carved more of this pumpkin than normal. Let me just take these away. Let's turn this on and let's get some ghost lighting so you can see what he looks like. There we go. Just getting enough shadow. There we go. So now I think you can see my gibbon. What I've done here is done the furry neck and area. I didn't quite get to finish him, but I still could because listen, he's still nice and yummy. He was done Saturday. Today is Monday. And here I did a little hand. Can you see that? Okay, that hand is holding, I'm trying to get the light not to be quite so hot, not so lucky. We'll see how it lights because I'm going to show you. And then over here is another hand that I didn't quite finish. The idea with the hands is because I made this little hat because you know that they always wear their cute little hats. So I turn it. Let me just look at it because I need to see it. So there it is. I knew I had it. So there's his little, that's not right. It's not sitting. There we go. Okay, that's better. So you can see that he's wearing his hat. So the hands are reaching up and kind of adjusting the hat. You can see that there. And then on the other side, his little hand is holding the strap. So there's the strap to the hat and then his hand, okay? Now, as I mentioned before, I don't know that this will light up because I don't know if the light will affect it, but we'll see. And if it does, then I would cut a hole in the top so that the light from inside of here would also illuminate that, okay? Let's find out, shall we? All right. Here we go. I'm plugging in now. Sorry, I forgot to talk. That's kind of surprising that I forgot to talk, right? Okay, so if we cut to camera 4, look, oh, he's precious. Okay, let me just make a little adjustment so you guys can see him better. There he is. Wow, he actually lights up very well, even though I have lights on me. Here I am down here, but we're going to actually do a little more. Now, his little hat won't illuminate because I haven't cut through, but we will check the light to see how that will work. Here we go. How that will light up. Now, right now, you see, we just have that little bit of glow there from the glow of the pumpkin, but I will see if this illuminates, and if it does, I would cut a hole at the top of the head, and then I would make that illuminate. But I really want it to go super dark, so I'm going to try. It really is very dark now, but I'm just going to see what happens if we get it a little bit darker. Well, before I do that, he does look like he's pretty much in focus, doesn't he, gang? Let's just be sure. Yeah, that looks about right. Oh, he's just precious. Now, I'm really liking the darks on the nose and muzzle and the darks in the eyes. Now, what I may do is, you notice this little pupil right here. I'm going to punch that a little more and punch that one a little bit more so you see his sweet, innocent expression as he looks up at his hat. And if we turn him to see the hand is looking really good too, isn't it? As he holds it there. And then you can see that that's what I've done. I've carved around the hand shapes. On the other side, you can barely see it because it's just the line, right? It's just the linear here. But if I sculpted that out, you would see more of the hand if I wanted it to. But honestly, I'm kind of liking the fact that it kind of shows you the progress. That's the way I would display it. And then I would carve more hair down in the bottom like that. But you can kind of see how absolutely beautiful he looks in the dark. Isn't that cool? Yay! I'm super, super happy about that. I really am. He really looks so cute. And then I'm just going to take the light out from under him. It's very bright, so I'm going to stand in front of it because I don't want you guys to get blinded. But I'm just going to do a test with the hat so I can see if I have gourd work to do. Yeah. Oh, but you know what's cool, guys? Ooh, okay, I'm going to show you right now. Let me put him here. That light, see how bright that light is? That light's a little bit bright on y'all. Okay, all right. So you can notice now, well, I better cut to camera 4. Let me just hold this there so you don't get blind. But you can see how that little bulb part lights up? So it would really be worth it for me to cut a hole through the head of my little white guy so that that bulb shows. And then right now the pattern isn't showing, but I can thin it down so it does. So I think I'm going to go for it. I think I am going to cut the hole in the top of his head. Let's cut through this. You can see it better. I'm going to cut right up here, the hole up in here so that the light will pass up into the hat. That will make, because I really, really like the idea of, there we go. This just happened to fit so beautifully. But this is going to be fun to have that glow. And then I'll just thin here inside to make this pattern that I've done glow. Okay. So that's the idea of it. And then I will show you this before Halloween, because just like I said before, I do both of these the same way. Wipe it down with the vinegar and then wipe the insides with the vinegar. Both pumpkins, wipe the face, wipe the hands, everything, right? And then place the wet paper towel on the face. So I do each hand kind of like this. Want to make sure each hand gets protected, right? Then I'd come over here. We get another piece of paper towel. We protect this hand. Now, these are a little dried out because, like I said, every day, don't skip. Open that bag, wipe it with the vinegar, dampen the towels, put them on. Love on your little fella. Yeah, love, love, love your kid, right? Love the baby. I'm the baby. Gotta love me. Gotta love him too. So just put them on like this and make sure every part is covered like that. You can see here, yeah, that the chin needed a little more love, so I did another one like this. Whoop, and just covered the bottom. Made sure it went to that part over to here. Now, you can see that these are falling off, but when you've dampened them, because I did this last night after my long time, you can see when they're dampened, they will stick. Okay, right now it's not sticking because it's dry, but I have to do today the same thing I did yesterday. Pop it in the bag. And in this case, I just stick the hat next to him, but on the side that's not sculpted. Okay. And if you take my class this Saturday, TerriHarDin.com, event schedule, still room. I pick your pumpkin. I share my tools. You don't have to buy anything other than the class, and then get your little buns down to Anaheim to check it out. But this is how I do it. And then we just set it. You know, you can set it on the non-sculpted side, or you can set it on the hole. The difference is, the nice thing about leaving it on the non-sculpted side is a little air gets in here, and air is always good to seal it up. It incubates. And like I said, that's not a good idea. Let me unplug my light. I'm going to unplug my light. Wow, that gibbon looked cool, didn't it? That's the first time I got to see him. So I'm just tickled pink about that. You can use all kinds of lights. This particular light was designed for me and given to me, and they even did an orange color because orange during the holidays is my favorite. And you can actually take this and then make it turn. But there's the little light, and you can see it's had a lot of use. It's got some pumpkin guts on it. Probably be a good thing to let it cool and maybe take that off. But the point is that, yeah, it's a great little, I always store the bulb separate from the base because the base is really heavy. But you don't have to have a light like this. You can do a multitude of lights. There are so many super bright LED lights. But because I was running late today and I wanted to be sure to see you guys, I didn't have time to put batteries in. I could have put them on here. But they have those ones you push. You can put 2 or 3 of those in to light your pumpkin. There's all kinds of ones you can do. But the key is the bottom, because people will ask you, how is it lit? When, how are you lighting it when it's not open? And you can, do a whole show about being all magical and everything. And then you tip it back and they're so shocked. It's amazing how many people haven't thought about opening the bottom of a pumpkin, including myself. If you buy my DVD, I talk about opening the top. That's because I did the DVD a few years ago. And then, of course, you get better. And I've thought about doing another DVD but I think what I'll do instead is just do an update and put the update, reach out and give the update to everyone, anyone I can think of. If you bought the DVD, here's the update, right? And you can do that. So that's kind of my thing. It's getting cool. Good. There we go. Last thing we want to do is start a fire or something. That would be terrible, right? That would not be cool. So let's go to you guys. Oh, I'm going to sit for now. I'm so excited I was able to share that with you. I had not turned the light on those pumpkins in a very, very long time. And if we have time, I'm happy to share with you. We won't have much time today, but during Ask Me Anything Friday, it's going to be a short one because I have to get somewhere, but I'll make sure that I'm able to share with you the pumpkins that people are sending in to me from the virtual class, from the demo that I did on Saturday. And then the following Monday, I'll show you some of the ones that the people do in the class. But consider joining the class. It really is a lot of fun. We're going to have food. We're going to have, what's going to happen is you arrive at 9 and you pick out your pumpkin. Introduce yourselves to each other. Hi, hey, what's up? Get to meet me, and then I'll demo for you, okay? You would bring a picture, and then your smiling face, a good attitude. I usually teach a face, but if you have a Disney thing your heart's set on, or just about anything, I have helped people with all kinds of things, all right? So it should be good. Forgive me, this is my breakfast. Let's hear what you have to say. And then off you go, little goslings, to go have fun and get ready for Halloween. I still have to go get the thing I'm giving out for kids. I give out popcorn. I got to get the Heidi Ho, Stephen. Welcome today. Krista Joy. Hi, honey. How are you guys doing? I meant to reach out to you. I'd love to do your podcast and talk about my book. Johnny Johnson, Florida's in the house. Hi, how are you? I miss you all over there. Miss going to TGI Fridays and visiting with those great people over there. I'm missing it. I'm feeling it, you know. Hi, Terry. My 11-year-old grandson wants to know if you stay there the whole time at Outrageous Pumpkins or if you leave while the carving is going on. That is an excellent question, Diane. And your 11-year-old, excellent question. We shot that show, the one you just watched, last year. And what happened last year? We were all under pandemic restrictions, weren't we? We were not vaccinated yet, were we? And so we had to be isolated. So in the case of that show, we weren't allowed to watch. We could watch the carvings a little bit, but for our own protection, we were asked to stay inside our trailers, our boxes, because at that point, the CDC had not given us permission to be outside even, right? Just keep that big, big distances and stuff. So we didn't get to for this one, but we did get to come out on occasion. Each one of us had what I like to call pandemic police. We had someone who watched over us and let us know when we could remove our mask and when we could put our mask on. We were tested every other day for COVID. And full disclosure, it was a spit test, very, very accurate. I actually liked it better than the, root canal for your nose test. But as long as we were tested and we didn't have COVID and everything, we also stay off of the farm at a hotel, and we had to stay confined to a hotel the whole time. We were only allowed to order food in, and or we could go out with people from the cast, but it had to be careful. You couldn't just jump out and go grab something because they wouldn't allow it. As you know, if just one person got sick, the rest are at risk. So we were very, very careful. I know it is a long-winded answer to that question, but it was very important that you saw us without masks. We wore our masks side by side until we had to broadcast, but we had all been tested for COVID and we were all isolated. So we were all very, very safe. We kept everybody very safe. And we got to see like some of the, like maybe a little bit up to the end, the final carves. So for me, the show was as entertaining as it for you, because I got to see it from start to finish. And wasn't Ryan fun? You love a guy who just likes to wear the guts of the pumpkin like through the whole show, don't you? His shirts were always soaked with pumpkin guts, and I just was fascinated. We as judges were intrigued by him because I can't speak for Mark, but I know Power Tools was like, no. But Brian kind of made a believer. Did he make a believer out of you using those Power Tools? In many cases, he did quite a bit, didn't he? On the other hand, Titus did a great job. They all did a beautiful job. Titus' stuff is really clean, and he didn't use a lot of Power Tools. So it's just, it's your preference as a pumpkin sculptor, what floats what you do. You noticed lots of vegetables being used by Christina, and then you've got each carver doing something absolutely cool, right? And anyone could have won that, right? I thought anyway, and as a judge, I did. Because you would think somebody was in the bottom and was going to slide out, and then they would come back like a lion, and you'd go, doggone it, really good. You'd go, wow, that person, came from. So everybody was just wonderful. And I hope you liked those 4 contestants. I hope you enjoyed that. And thank you for that question. Moisturizing, good for maintaining facial features, Stephen. You're very cute. Don't use vinegar on your own face, okay? No, don't do that. I gotta be careful with Steven. He's always doing that. Who decides on the challenges for outrageous pumpkins? Asked Michael Roman. That would be the Food Network. Food Network decides. I would love to see a division where they do the etchings. Have you seen Mark's work, the other judge? He does those beautiful etchings. Oh, they're incredible. But, what's the time limit? You'd have to ask, I know that for the first time last year, I did one based on Mark's, what Mark did. I'd never done that style. I really like to do the dimensional ones. And I tried it and loved it. Thought it was great. So I'll do a few of those. I like having the different ones on my porch. So I'm going to do a few. But the big pumpkin, I don't think a big Mac or the giant pumpkins etching is I think it's more, okay, I'm going to use a big word here. I think it's a sin to do jack-o'-lantern or an etching on a super big pumpkin like you saw them finish when the walls are so thick. It's really tough to do jack-o'-lantern type things when the walls are this thick. They really are made for pumpkins like the wolf or the pie pumpkin or the whole Henry, the O Henry. I think it's called Henry, and I put the O in there. But there's all different kind of pumpkins who have the thinner wall that really are very good for jack-o'-lanterns where you're doing the cuts. But now Mark, he does dimensional carving. I'm sure if you looked at his Instagram page, he does a lot of dimensional carving too. But at least as of last year, he wasn't about lighting the inside, and I'm all about that. I want to light the inside. Yeah, I want mine to glow. So that's where I kind of differ for all the other pumpkin sculptors. They tend to do those dimensional ones and not worry about lighting them on the inside, but I like to light them on the inside. Okay. But I'm not in full disclosure of them. It's not saying that theirs is wrong and mine is right. It's just what's your style, right? What is your personal style when you're an artist? You want to look at other artists and be fascinated by other artists. Like Mark is just an amazing painter. He's an incredible pumpkin sculptor, and his team is phenomenal. I mean, you've seen the stuff. But Mark really feels that it's not necessary to light a dimensionally carved pumpkin. And I just happen to disagree. But we're both good, aren't we? Thank you, Michael. How much time are the contestants given to plan their piece? A lot of time, I think what happens is they're given, and I can't be sure about this because the judges are not, to be fully open to all of you, judges are not allowed to know anything beforehand. They really want outrageous pumpkins. Now, you've heard people say reality shows aren't reality shows, okay? Many are scripted. Many are acted out. For outrageous pumpkins, this is not the case. And if it was, I'd tell you, right? I hope you know me well enough that I would, but it's not the case. What happens is we as judges tend to be sequestered, there's the word, so that we don't fall in love with the contestants and we don't get, but one of the challenges is if you're a pumpkin sculptor and you sculpt a lot, you may know some of them. And then it's all about your own personal integrity. And that's what I love about Mark. If he does know them, he doesn't necessarily let me know he knows them, but he's very, very good at judging the art. And that's one of the reasons I love having him as a judge with me, because I'm looking at things differently than he is. And it's fun. That's what really makes it fun. So to answer your question, to the plan their piece, Food Network lets them plan it, I think, a little bit ahead of time. Maybe it's like a week before the show shoots. They can do it, and then it's illustrated, but I cannot say for sure. The best thing to do for you to ask that question is to Google one of the contestants. Ryan has an Instagram page, and I think he has a website. I know he has an Instagram page, and you can see his amazing wood carvings, because the guy really is good. And then Titus, I haven't reached out to Titus yet, but I'd like to, and keep in touch with him. And then Christine, who's the school teacher, she has a page. But they'll all tell you, if you reach out to them and ask them questions about being a contestant, they're very open about it. They can be now. You have to understand that we are under non-disclosure until the show airs. So when we film it, we can't talk about it really until it airs. So now it airs, and now the contestants can talk about it, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'll let your imagination run with that one, right? Hello, Michelle. I can hardly wait till Saturday. I can hardly wait till Saturday. And Michelle, if you're curious and you're wondering, I haven't sent out the information yet. My weekends are slammed. So today I will be sending you guys out information. And what I'm going to ask you all to do is to come back. Just say, I got it. I'm ready. So that you can, you'll be all set. Be sure, I'm going to say it in my email to you as well. Be sure to get there at 9:00. You can come anytime. Okay. I will be there till God turns the lights out. Okay. It's outdoors, so it's going to get dark. And once it gets dark, and you understand that we're getting closer and closer in California to daylight savings time, which is November 6th, 7th, Sunday morning, Saturday night thing. So the sun is going down quicker, but you can come. So if you've signed up for the class and you find that something came up, don't just ignore it. Come, or reach out to me. I will be giving you a way to text me. And so that way you can text me and ask me questions. I may see if I can have someone to field your texts and see if I have permission to give you their number, but I have to ask that first. So that's one of the reasons I've been waiting, because I've been focusing on the squeakiest wheel. So what does that mean? Friday was the virtual class, so I worked all about the virtual class. Then Saturday was the demo, and I wanted to make sure that the virtual class and the demo were good. And then on Sunday, I had a private class up in Moore Park with 8 to 13 students. So I had to make sure each and every one worked. So last week, just to give you an idea of a peek into my day, Thursday we got pumpkins, spoke with the guy that I was going to demo for on Saturday, Steve, and then Friday virtual class, Saturday demo all day, almost until God turns the lights out. And then Sunday was the class. And the class we actually did in a really good time. I actually was there at 8. People were slow at getting there at 10. They were supposed to be there at 10. They got there more like 10:30. No problem on my end. I'm willing to wait. And if some of you stagger, you're going to be fun, because it's going to be okay. Because with so many students and only one little, leap about me, it takes some time for me to get to each and every one of you. So, but it allows you to think about what you want to do. It allows you to consider your drawing, and then a little patience goes a long way. I'm trying to think if I have anybody there that's alumni. I don't think so, but we have the whole day, so I'm going to use it. So just relax, and you're going to have a good time. I promise you. Okay. It's going to be food, and it's going to be great. So I can hardly wait either, Michelle, to see you there. Joseph, are you back? Oh, I was thrilled to see you. So Joseph Yakovetic, an amazing artist, he invited me down to Descanso Gardens to visit with him, and I spent the evening. That was last Tuesday, in a very busy time for pumpkin sculptors. But when your friends come from, Joseph has always been a longtime friend, and he moved to Florida, so we don't get to see each other. I mean, Florida's in the house today. But we don't get to see each other, and he flew out on Friday. So I wanted to make sure that I saw him. So Monday, it wasn't Tuesday, it was Monday. I jumped out there and visited with him. And then I watched him sculpt with his friends and colleagues. And he kind of gave me a window in how Descanso Gardens does their pumpkin sculpting. And it is a blend of techniques, a little bit of, the ones that go through Pumpkin Row. I met some people that were just fascinating, people who could do jack-o'-lanterns. Can you imagine doing 100 jack-o'-lanterns in an hour? Now, they might only be this big, but in an hour, you're making them so they're lightable. And Joseph introduced me to people who could do that. Also, he explained to me that the pumpkins that they use, it's a mixture of paint, relief carving, and light. And that was fascinating to see, and very impressive to walk that and see some of those. If you haven't seen them, I think it's still going on, right, Joseph? Don't hesitate to check it out. And it seemed like they might need carvers for next year. So Joseph, let me know if they do, and I can turn you on to some really good ones who might be interested in joining you should you come back this way next year in helping you get some of those done. Really amazing. But Joseph also used to do Disney sculpting at Disneyland and also at Club 33. And now he's in Florida and he does it for Disney there. I mean, not necessarily pumpkin sculpting. He's a painter, so he does that. But, you know, artist, seeing artists. It was great to see you, Joseph. And I hope you had a safe trip home. Diane, wow, thank you so much for the explanation. Oh, you're welcome. You guys are gearing up for Halloween, and maybe not all of you can come to the class. So I can't demonstrate how to sculpt it, but I can certainly share with you how to preserve it. Now, the big ones that we do, it's the same process. It's just a lot more difficult because you're rolling around 80 pounds. The pumpkins are mostly walls. So the challenge is that those walls make the pumpkin heavy. They don't have a lot of seeds. So when you carve out the mid, you work about the little bit of the middle. That's why Joseph will tell you need to take out more. And even then that makes it more fragile. You heard on Outrageous Pumpkins how your contestant said, I got to be careful carving these big giants because they can collapse on themselves, So interesting, right? But wow, made my fingers tingle that I would love to try and carve one of those big babies because that just looks like a lot of fun. So really, really super cool. Yes, indeed, he is. As soon as I heard he was doing a dragon, I knew he had a good chance. Well, Michael, he did not know me. He knew of me. Now, he could have Googled me, Ryan. I'm not going to say he didn't. But I love dragons and I love sci-fi. And I love the classic 3D. So was he speaking to me? A little narcissistic on my part to think he was, but I really felt that he had done that for me. And he really did it for his little child. But you could just imagine that me and his son could get along just great if he likes dragons and likes 3D glasses and science fiction movies. Pardon me, and monsters. But then I'll bet you if you talk to Mark, he might have a few similar statements. So it's best to make the judges all think that you're doing it for them. Hi, Marianne. Thank you. Marianne says it's a great show and she loved it. And I did too. I want to thank you for that. I got back Saturday morning and went to carve pumpkins at Sensational Farms the same day. Wow. What did I tell you about us being busy during pumpkin season? No rest for the wicked. And then you November 1st comes and you're like, did I forget anything? Ding. Sometimes November 1st is just as important as October 31st because the 31st falls on a weekend. So if the 31st happens, then sometimes the 1st is included at a pumpkin farm and they'll ask you to come out. I don't know if everybody feels that way. 1 minute. I'm getting something from my friend Steve. That's Pumpkin Steve where I did the demo. He sent a message. So let's see what he has to say. He really got excited. A lot of people were checking out. So what we did at the demo is we left the pumpkins we sculpted for Steve to have. So we demoed by sculpting pumpkins most of the day, and then we left them there for Steve at the Irvine Park Railroad. So he was just writing back to saying, wow, was that a fun treat? He wasn't prepared for it. But what do you give a guy who, not only invites you to be a demo person, and Joseph would do this, but he fed us. He just took such good care of us that I want to go back for sure. Really, really good. Through the 31st, exactly. There you go. You can go if you're in Florida. They need people next year after he gets hired. So you know what's going to happen. Joseph's going to get hired next year for Descanso Gardens, and then he's going to put out the siren. So if you're a pumpkin sculptor and you want to try this out, be sure you connect with me on social media. And that way, when Joseph puts the siren out for people to come and carve with Joseph, you can do that. Okay. Wouldn't that be nice to have your stuff at Descanso? And then at night, that a few of them who do the dimensional carving sit at night and carve while people walk around and see the night stuff. So by day, they're doing these beautiful etchings, and by night, they're carving dimensionally. Doesn't that sound fun? It's really very clever. Very, very, very clever. So I hope you enjoyed this. We went just about an hour. We're getting so much better. And all of you understand that I want you to go out and enjoy the weather. It's raining here, so you know I'm going to be out in it. So excited that the rain reached us. The people up north said we got a bit too much rain. That's the problem with Northern California sometimes, is that they get very little rain and then, you know, God dumps a bucket. And apparently rivers are swelling and people's houses are flooding because there were a lot of fires up there. So California, you know, we take what we can get, but it is rather challenging. And down here, we're getting it kind of the way that the rest of California would kind of like it, where you kind of rain a little bit and then you let the ground soak it in and then you rain a little bit, you know. But we'll take it. We're in a serious drought here, and we'll take it, which is one of the reasons that if you're out shopping for the Big Mac pumpkins, they can be quite expensive. But newsflash for the big pumpkins, you can, they say at the grocery outlet, if you have a grocery outlet, one young lady said that there was one about this big, and that's the kind that you saw the carvers carve. They're saying they think they're a Big Mac, but it's a little baby Big Mac. So that they're $25. And if you think about, there's a farm called Tapia Farm that's off the 101 in Northridge. They're selling for $180, $150, $120 for about the same size pumpkin. So don't buy them there, you know. And you know, yeah, they're expensive because of the drought this year. But apparently, if you can get them at grocery outlet, grab them. They say they're the size. I haven't seen them, so I'm taking their word. But if you want to try it, they are a little bigger than normal, so you can try it out. The safest pumpkin for you, if you want to grab one, is a wolf. A wolf pumpkin is a pumpkin that has, unfortunately, I don't have a picture of it, but the stem is larger, a lot is bigger in proportion than the bell. So the bell might be like this and the stem could be about like that, you know. Or get a ghost. Look for the little white ghosty pumpkins. They're usually very reasonably priced. You can get a smallish ghost, and the walls are always really nice. Now, don't get the tiny, tiny one. I did a tiny one once, and I did a mummy because the wall was only like that, you know, that thick. So, but as the carvers have told you on Outrageous, if they're heavier, they usually have more wall. So that's a way to tell. But go out and leap around a patch if you've got one near you. And those of you back east, you're going to get them for a song because you've had lots of water out back east, and you have you got the pickings, right? You're able to pick and choose what you want, and that's what's so cool about it. So so that's my advice. That's my suggestion. When you do carve a pumpkin, please send it. Please on Instagram, tag me, Facebook, tag me. Send it to me to my email, terri@terrihardin.com. You can see here how Hardin is spelled, Hardin. So terri@terrihardin.com is a great way to grab me, or you can catch me on Instagram and just let me see what you're doing. Okay? I'd love to see it. Okay, guys, love, hugs, happy Halloween. I will see you Ask Me Anything Friday. That's going to be the 29th, right? Yeah. And we'll talk a little bit about, what was I going to do? Oh, I'll show you my gibbon with the hat. Because let me tell you something. Just one more thing before I go. When the word got out at the railroad, Irvine Park Railroad, in Orange, check it out if you've got time. Go early. They fill up. They have great food. They have a train ride. They have face painting, decorate your pumpkin, all kinds of cool stuff. So if you're looking for something to do, go out and check them out. They're really, really good. And the same with Underwood Family Farms in Moore Park. That's the other way. I don't know if they have things like face painting and all of that during the week, but I know they definitely have some great farm stuff because they are a actual farm. So anyway, back to it. When I sculpted this gibbon, I decided to do this gibbon because I told you about Asian hate and how I feel about people hating people because of things they can't change. It's like, why waste your time in hating that? But anyway, the minute the word got out at the railroad, Irvine Park Railroad, we had our booth inundated by people who wanted to come and see, of Asian, Indian, all races, wanting to come and get some luck from that little gibbon. So it was a good call on my part. And then we could talk about, can you tell what it is? And people go, it's a monkey. And then people who really understood the culture of how much this particular monkey is revered, then they came and they tapped the head and they just tapped the head like that, nothing scary, nothing COVID-y, just boop, and that was it. So really cool. It was really a great day. So I want to thank you all. I want to tell you all I love you bunches. Do something nice for someone else, like sculpting a gibbon, and you'll feel a whole lot better. And I did. So I love you all. I will see you Friday. Be well. Be safe. Happy Halloween.